going on, everybody? Another day in paradise. This is a late night creep. Been wanting to do this live stream or this discussion for a couple days, but I've had my hands pretty much tied up. A lot of stuff going on, and but I'm happy to be here regardless. Got some time tonight, like I said, so let's get right into this. What I'm going to do is I'm going to cover a comment, a pretty lengthy comment that I received from Val. Shout out to her. I believe Val, she said she found me via TikTok, or what I like to call Tick Thought. But nevertheless, Val found me over there. And so I appreciate her support. But she left a pretty lengthy comment on one of my videos or shorts that I made the past couple days ago or a few days ago. And I want to talk about it here right now, impromptu, with all of you guys, right? And so let's get right into this. Let me share this comment. Like I said, pretty lengthy comment that she left. So I think it's, basically gonna be it's gonna be a good one, good discussion. I want your guys' input. I want your guys' engagement in this as well. And it's definitely worthy for me to do like a live stream on it, right? To do a whole video on this would be a pretty long video, but obviously with the live stream format, I can make things a little bit more. I think it's a better fit. Let's get right into this. So shout out to Val for this comment, and she puts here, "I was told by a black female." Okay, well, let me just start off by saying the title of the stream is "Gender Politics and Black Supremacy," because we know with Black supremacy, their foot soldiers are the mulattoes. Okay, Black supremacy, Black supremacists, they want the mulattoes to do all their dirty work, to be their foot soldiers. And what they often do to neutralize and destabilize mulattoes is they play their gender divide, their gender politics. So what they'll often do is black men, if you look at any of my shorts or videos, especially on TikTok, you'll see black men. Whenever you affirm that you're biracial or you're mulatto, you're not the same as them. What they'll do, the men, they'll say, black men will say, "You the CDO father. You the CDO father," right? That's one of the main things that they will say. That's what black men do. But then, of course, when you have the black women, what do they say? They say, "Oh, well, if I have a biracial child, right? If I get a black woman's going to say, if she gets impregnated by a white man, then her biracial child is going to be more grounded in the black community, in the struggles and identity of the community, right?" That's their argument. So we see this gender divide, how both sexes, both genders play this role in destabilizing and neutralizing mulattoes. Okay. This is going to be a constant theme we're going to be talking about over and over and over. But I saw this comment from Val, so I want to highlight her comment. Shout out to her. Let me get right into it. So Val puts, "I was told by a black female that if she got pregnant by a white man, she would have a abortion. She also wouldn't stop having unprotected sex with white men. It made me think she hoped she would get pregnant by a white man so she could have an abortion and finally feel in control over light skinned mixed women." That is profound right there. But I definitely see where she's coming from, and it's extremely believable when we see a lot of the behavior of some of these individuals, right? Like she would feel happy and satisfied deleting someone mixed. That's critically important, right? A lot of Black Americans are very insecure to the point of being sadistic. hmm Oh, yeah. Yeah. And you put like deleting someone mixed. Significant, right? Because if they really showed their intentions, like if they're really honest and they showed themselves fully without hiding, everybody else in society would literally have justification to punk them, right? Because the thing is, don't they always cry about being victims, being oppressed, right? They always cry about being victims and oppressed, and they always try to shame people for being racist and colorist, right? The white man, he's oppressing me. He's the colonizer. He's racist. That's what the blacks tell you, right? But it's funny once you start to examine a lot of these characters and how they treat and invalidate mixed people, all of a sudden their little special victim status dwindles, fades away, right? So once all these other groups, white, Hispanic, Asian, Latino, whatever, once they start to see these individuals and how they treat mixed people, the biracial people, right? They lose that little special victim status. So it's a very interesting situation. And you still have a lot of these individuals begging for reparations. But as you put here, your example here, where it's like this kind of sadistic nature where they want to control this kind of the abortion concept, right? To feel like they have control over a mixed person. It's like, oh, I want to have unprotected sex with the white man. And then if I get pregnant by the white man, I'm going to abort the child, right? They want that control, that power, right? Yeah. And like you said, deleting someone that's mixed, very significant because that's the power. They want to feel that power, like they have something, right? Okay. But they want to be sneaky about it because if they're upfront about it, like I said, they're going to lose their victimhood status. Then everybody in society will turn on them and they'll have justification. They won't feel so sorry for them because a lot of people feel sorry for them, especially mixed people. Mixed people are the most punked and hoodwinked out here because a lot of them, they actually like taking it in the rear, honestly, from the community, which is sad. But, I'll be the bad guy. I'll be the bad guy out here calling a spade a spade. But from what I see, yeah, I mean, other people will find justification in their treatment towards them, right? Once they see how they really feel and how they treat mixed people. Continuing on with the comment, Val puts, I think she was trying to offend me because she knew I was the offspring of a black mother and a white father. You don't get no points with these people. Okay. I'm doing this stream right now. Okay, I'm gonna go over this comment, but I'm gonna go over a couple other Dr. Umar streams the next few days. Like I said, I've been really busy with business and stuff, but I got a couple other streams planned out, some Dr. Umar commentary. And you don't get no points with these people. If you have a black father, because what they tell me is you the seed of your father, like, right? Like Tariq Nasheed's wife. Tariq Nasheed's wife, Peanut, has a black father, right? White mother. You don't get no points with these people. They'll play that game with you. Okay, you mulattoes, a lot of you dumbass biracials. Okay, they'll play that game with you. Oh, because you got a black mom, you more grounded in the culture, in the community. They'll play that game with you, but they'll flip the script. Okay, they'll move the goalposts. A lot of you people haven't figured it out yet. Interestingly enough, that's why you guys tune into me. That's why you guys listen to me. That's why you guys want to hear what I have to say, because you want the truth. You want to understand the reality of the situation. That it doesn't matter if your mom is black or your mom is white or whatever. These people are going to use that against you and play that game against you to use you as their subordinate. Okay. Just want to make that clear moving forward. I'm going to have to reiterate that in the future as well. So you put here, Val says, however, she already had a full black child. I asked her, why shouldn't have an abortion with the black one? She said that because she would have a better opportunity to work out with a black man. Interesting. She would have a better opportunity to work it out with a black man because she has a black child, right? But if she had a white male partner and she had a biracial child, then other black men wouldn't be digging her as much. Interesting. It made no sense because the black baby daddy wasn't around, which is typical with them. Okay. 75+% out of wedlock birth rates. Okay. Math is not racist. Okay. And she was a single mom, very typical with them. Okay. Even with the real life example of a black man abandoning her, she still said she would abort the mixed kid but not the black one. Interesting. And you know what? I saw a recent short video clip. The gentleman page, he tagged me in a recent video. Let me see if he I don't know if he shared it. It's on his TikTok. I could have shared the clip. Oh, actually, no, I got it here for you guys. Let me play this for you guys. Okay. I didn't do a whole bunch of planning and preparing for this. Like, it's late as fuck, right? Where I'm at, but I wanted to hop up here. You guys watch the playback, hit the like button. I appreciate that. Beautiful people. Let me play this here. You guys see this right here, okay? Shout out to the cat here. I think it's the Beige Advice Show is the name of his channel. And he put here it's like a typical black woman defending black men and destabilizing mulatto in Marabou men into be underrepresented subordinates with no allies or loyal counterparts. Okay. And then this is like a TikTok clip where the dark skinned black woman put on it's an Instagram logo. She puts here, me bashing African men all day knowing I'm going to end up marrying one.
Twisted love is a beautiful thing. It's done jazzy again. Don't get it.
Okay, and that's just it. It's a very short clip, but it's just this dark skinned black woman, very cocky and confident, talking about, like I said, the title here is she puts me bashing African men all day knowing I'm going to end up marrying one. And it's kind of a sick, psychology as well, right? Like it's like they get a kick out of that, right? The whole gender war is their own entertainment. Their dysfunction, their tribalism, that's for them. But they try to instill that dynamic into their biracial children. And it doesn't work out for the children. Okay. For these biracials, you want to take your parents' gender war dynamic. It's not going to work out for you the same way. But I wanted to share that. Shout out to him. Because, yeah, like I said, they're on code. I already talked about this. I'm going to upload another video. I'm making another video with Kwame Brown. I did a live stream on him like a while back. But the same BS, right? Kwame Brown referring to mulattoes as crash test dummies. And then you have that person, Chrissy, who's a BWE, Black Woman Empowerment, YouTuber, content creator, co-signing Kwame Brown. She's like, I understand Kwame Brown. I get where he's coming from. Hating on light skins. Of course you do, because you're another fucking dark skin. Okay, because I had told you guys, I know a lot of you people, you don't like my delivery. Okay, well then unsubscribed, take your weak ass somewhere else. Okay. But dark skinned women like Chrissy and dark skinned men like Kwame Brown, they are on code when it comes to how to treat your biracial ass. Okay. Your mulatto ass, your light skin ass, whatever, your Creole, whatever you are. Okay. The dark skins, they're on code when it comes to how to treat your ass. Okay. A lot of you people, you haven't figured it out yet, but that's fine. Eventually, you're going to get it the more you listen to me. And I already talked about that. I'm going to make another video, some edits on that with Chrissy and Kwame Brown. But I just shared with you guys a clip of that woman who's literally, making a little Instagram reel, laughing and joking like, oh, I'm going to talk crap about African men all day. But at the end of the day, I'm going to marry one of them and have their bastard kids, right? And then beg the white man for government assistance. Okay. So this is the process. We see how this goes. When those same individuals, when they decide to get pregnant, or if it's a man and they impregnate another group of people, specifically white, they have a mulatto child, a lot of the effects are damaging to us. And we see that when we navigate towards these spaces, we analyze certain individuals, their behavior, their conduct, okay, on YouTube, and we're like, oh, okay, yeah, I can kind of see the background you're coming from here, okay, and how you conduct yourself. So let's continue on with this. Like I said, the lady said that she would. What Val is putting here is that she still said she would abort the mixed kid, but not the black one. So you guys see the loyalty there. I want to highlight that. There's this loyalty to blackness. Like you have Chrissy's, a BWE, Black Woman Empowerment. There's loyalty to blackness, to black men, dark skin. But to mixed people, they're going to throw you under the bus. Same thing with the other black woman, Cynthia G, has a child by a black man. So she gets pregnant by a black man, has her bastard kid, but she's going to throw mixed people under the bus. Same thing with Paris Milan. Those are the women, but you have the men, the same shit. Okay. Same thing with the men. Do I have names? I already mentioned Kwame Brown, but Tariq Nasheed. Whenever these black supremacists, when they talk about mulattoes, they're always the men. They're always talking about the mulatto men. They look at us as a threat. Okay, because we can gather troops, we can wage war, we can inspire. That's the main reason why they don't like us. We can inspire individuals, and so yeah, the men are basically looking at us, the mulatto men, as a threat, but they want the women. They want to neutralize the women, and also they want to use the women against us. But it's always been ineffective. It's basically futile at this point, especially when you have individuals like me who are up here. It's extremely futile. We've already been tracking, monitoring, and documenting the strategies that these savages have been doing for the past decade, but they continuously do it, and that's fine. You're just giving us more information to add. But let's continue on with this. Since her reason is totally illogical, I think my theory about her deleting the mixed kid would make her feel powerful. Of course, you're dealing with people who are conquered and powerless. They want to feel power. No other race, ethnic group, etc., will allow these individuals to exhibit power over them. But they have a test subject, they have a population that they can feel like they have power to wield over. And that's where you come into place. Right? A lot of you bastards out here. Okay. Hate to say it like that, but a lot of you people, a lot of you biracials, a lot of you mulattoes, it's not your fault how you got here, but you're here now. Like that song from Nirvana, Smells Like Teen Spirit. Here we are now, so entertain us, right? And you're here now. So what are you gonna do? What are you gonna do? You're gonna continue to kiss black ass, be a subordinate. You want to try to punk other mulattoes out here, right? Because I'm telling you right now,
I am telling you right now,
these younger mulattoes, they're not gonna get punked by you motherfuckers. And I was just doing some side work, okay, at one of these private universities the other day. Saw a few mulattoes over there, right? I think it's like majority white. Yeah, it's for sure majority white campus, private institution, university. They had other ethnic groups. Yeah, Asians were a minority there. Hispanics minority, blacks minority. They had a few mulattoes there. Definitely a white. Didn't look at the whole demographic percentage, etc. But I'm looking at these younger mulattoes like, look, they're not going to get punked. Okay, the way these older generation, these Xers who are on their knees serving fucking blacks. I'm not saying all. I have a lot of support from Gen X. A lot of millennials. Okay, I'm a millennial. But like I said, I'm telling you, I'm looking at these Z's and younger. Okay, these people who are going to college right now, these institutions, they're looking for answers. Okay, they're not going to bow down and bend their knees and kiss black ass like the older generations. It's not going to happen. So if you're my age, if you're in your millennial, okay, you got to figure it out. You got to help these younger people understand they have a choice, they have an option. They don't have to just check the box and say, I'm a yellow bone, so I'm going to be stuck with the blacks because I'm just a yellow bone. I'm going to identify myself with my skin color because I'm just a light skinned black. No, 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 no. These younger mulattoes, they got either a white dad or a white mom. There's something entirely different. They're not black. Okay. So they're not stuck underneath blackness, dealing with the scraps and dealing with the shitty deal. And that's the whole position here, is to let these people know, look, you have another option out here, okay? I'm not the nicest guy. I've never said I was from day one. I'm not the nicest guy. I don't have all the solutions. I have a pretty good standard of life. I love where I'm at. I'm doing pretty good. I could do better. You know, I could have more muscle. I could have more readily accessible, attractive women ready to give it up. Okay, I could have more money. I could, there's a lot of things I could have. I'm good with what I got going on. There's a lot of other people who aren't good. Okay, and those are kind of some of the detractors. But let me get right back into this because I'm going off track. Okay, I think most mulattoes don't realize how deep the hate goes. Yeah, I think most mulattoes don't realize how deep the hate goes. Okay. Because it's normal to talk about the white man don't like me. And I was at the gym earlier pumping weights and shit, but I'm extremely competitive. It's funny how it's like it's normal for us to be competitive. I mean, us, meaning mulattoes, against our kind of white counterparts, if you want to say that right. It's normal for us to be competitive towards them. But all of a sudden, when we're competitive against blacks, all of a sudden, you're a lot of mulattoes get scared, little scaredy cats, little weaklings. All of a sudden, oh, you can't do that. You're a white supremacist. If you challenge black people, you're a white supremacist, right? How is that? How do you guys fall for that and find that to be acceptable? That is that programming into that subordinate position. Okay. But of course, you guys are all going to come to me looking for solutions. I already know, right? I had a guy, I had to kick him out of my group. He was over on Facebook. He was whining too much, crying. Like I already knew he basically he was a Gen Xer. I think that's the reason why I kind of go a little harder on the Gen Xers, even more than the boomers, to be honest with you, because I see a lot how like the Gen Xers, because this is when like kind of the hood culture became the standard in the community, was with like that Gen X generation when hip hop became the blueprint, the hood culture. So I see a lot of these Gen X mulattoes who kind of want to talk to me like they're like from the fucking hood. I don't give a fuck where your ass is from. You're from the hood, you got that pookie swag. I'm gonna look at you and treat you like any other fucking savage that I see on the street. If you want to act like that, okay, that's what you're gonna get with me. But they try to kind of flex. They want to flex, like, oh, they want to talk to me with their little urban kind of street slang and all stuff like that. You know, nobody's impressed by that. I'm a millennial cat from California, outside Los Angeles area. Nobody's impressed with that shit. We've been hearing that in these songs and movies and all that stuff for years. That little hood pookie swag, it's not impressive anymore. But a lot of these guys, they try to kind of pull rank and put that on. For me, I've noticed that. And there's one guy tried to push that. He's always crying about how white people treated him when he was a kid or when he's younger, whatever. And he's like, he's indebted to blackness, basically. He was trying to tell me, like, we should be doing this in a position of love. And why are we complaining about, like, he was, basically trying to police the channel. Like, if you don't like the channel, unsubscribe. Don't listen. I tell this all the time. I'm not trying to be YouTube famous. This is not, I don't care. I don't understand why these people who don't like my commentary, but they like a hoe, they stay listening, tuning in, watching. It's like, I'm going to hurt your feelings, right? If you have an inclination to serve the community, okay, this is not the channel for you. This is not the channel for you. But yeah, this is one guy who I had to kick out. I don't like kicking people out, man. Whatever. I develop a sense of try to develop cohesion. I want people to come together, men and women, regardless of their generation or their orientation. The main thing is promoting this, you know, uh, I just realized I got a couple comments. I probably got to kick someone out of here. I think it's that guy. Let me see. Uh, I don't want to highlight your comment, but I think I know because it's like the username is like a dead giveaway. Got to kick this guy out of here. You feel bad for me, dude. Why do you feel bad? I mean, let me see if I can go to your channel. It's like Do you even have any videos? No videos. Yeah, very typical. No content, no videos, but you feel bad for me. Like, if the thing is, if I could actually see what you look like, and if I could watch your videos or commentary, I could make you know, I can make a judgment there. But see, you see what I look like. You have all my videos, my commentary. This is live impromptu, but you're gonna kind of like pity me. Like, I feel bad for you. Just want to see because I'm gonna probably block this clown. I'm angry and frustrated, using this as a therapeutic measure to express your frustration with that community. Many biracial people who are able to fit inside Black America perfectly. Good for them. Yeah, Alicia Keys, right? I shared her, and she makes money off you people. Good. If you can make money off you people, you're doing your job. If you can entertain, that's good perfectly with no problems coming then. And when I look at the 75% out of wedlock birth rate, so I look at a lot of these, even mulatto women who are not like Alicia Keys. Okay, they're not like celebrities or they're not talented in her fashion. Even Sade, she has a child by a Jamaican man. I love Sade. And look at her child. Her child doesn't even want to be a woman. Her child chopped off her breast and wants to be a man. I look at Sade. Okay, that's Sade. Okay, she has a child from a Black person, Jamaican. And then I look at like a lot of these other mulatto women who add to that statistic of being a single mom. And I'm seeing myself asking myself, fitting into the Black community, like, how is that serving these women when they want to fit into the community? And yet all they're doing is continuing that struggle cycle of having bastard kids. I don't understand, how is that fitting in? How is that positive? Like, what are they doing for civilized society, for civilization? Are they developing any technology to help advance everybody else? What are they doing? I don't understand that. Fitting in. What is fitting in to the Black community? Acting like a fucking idiot, a degenerate savage, dancing around, being stupid, blaming all your issues on everybody else, on white people, on biracials who have anger issues, okay? And you say you hear anger. Yeah. Well, anger is a raw emotion. We all have it, okay? And I hear mulatto tears. I'm not crying. Yeah, this guy is funny. I'm going to block this clown. Someone who has grievances and wants to express them, someone who is looking for answers but going about it negatively. Yeah, you're no therapist here. You're just a weak bitch. Okay, so just block for you. I think I know who that clown is too. Just entertain that quickly. That's one of these guys who wanted to get all uppity and police my channel. It's like, look, you're not gonna, you want to do your little shitty hip hop, your shitty rap. The thing is, why don't they question these rappers who talk about all this degeneracy, promoting baby mama culture, having all these bastard kids all over the place? Why don't they talk about that? The fact that their culture is despicable and disgusting and it's ruining America. Why don't they talk about that? Oh no, one fucking mulatto guy with a very minimal following. I'm a small time YouTuber, guys. I'm not making money off this shit. I'm doing this because I want these mulattoes to know you got a place here. Okay. A lot of other people out here in society are going to hate on you just for existing. Why do they hate you? Because you exist? Because you're showing the world the beauty of creation. The fact that a European and an African person can come together, create a child, and your existence is a threat to a lot of people. I can go into that deeper in another video, but just you being here, your existence bothers a lot of people. But as we see, the Black supremacists, they want you to serve them. Okay. They want you to help them get closer to their white massa. When you have a guy like me that's saying no, okay, you people got to start paying us now. Mulattoes have caped for the community way too long. And I'm one guy. There's many others who have the similar sentiments. I get emails from these people. I get direct messages. I just had a whole spike and bump up in my Instagram following because shout out to the lady, a Pardo woman who shared my one of my reels or shared my channel with her Brazilian following. I had over 200 Brazilians just follow me today, literally on Instagram. So there's some traction there. And like I said, I'm connecting with Dominicans and TikTok and Instagram and Brazilians and Instagram. And it's like, yeah, yeah. These people, I'm talking about the community, the black community who sells hip hop and degeneracy and thug culture and victim culture. They want mulattoes to serve blacks. And if you're not kissing their ass, if you're telling these blacks, look, you got to pay me for something now. I'm not doing this for free. You got to pay me. All of a sudden, oh, it's coming from a place of anger. Well, a lot of you mulattoes should be angry that you're being used and punked and hoodwinked. I mean, depending on how you want to redirect that energy. I go to the gym. I like physical fitness. I like music, play the guitar. I like, those are the avenues. And I come up here and, social media connect with you guys. Is it therapeutic? Sure. Everything I do is therapeutic, you know. So I don't how is that a negative? That is therapeutic to get up here and communicate with you guys, my people, my folks, my following. I don't just look at you as subscribers or followers. These are people that I enjoy connecting with, developing content for them. They can listen and ponder. And I had a gentleman, actually, a dude from the UK. I think I mentioned one of his shorts earlier where I saw a message. He inboxed me on TikTok and told me he's inspired. Like, I'm literally inspiring men and women doing what I'm doing. So when I have some knucklehead pro whack who comes to my channel talking about he senses or feels anger or frustration with me, it's like, this isn't for you. The message is not for you. If you're a pro whack and you're selling hip hop songs, you're selling degeneracy to black people, you're a pro whack, this channel is not for you. Of course, you're gonna think of it as being negative, or you feel frustration, of course, because you want every biracial, every mulatto to serve blacks. I already told you it's not happening. I'm looking at these younger cats and gals. I'm looking at these younger mulattoes. They're not going to be serving blacks like the Gen Xers were. Okay, because a lot of the mulattoes, they're not. I'm telling you, man, they're not going to. Once these mulattoes realize they have another option out here, they don't have to check the black box and just try to fit in with blacks. Like the guy said, a lot of these mulattoes fit in with blacks. Good for them. As long as you're making money, you're doing something, good for you. I don't want you struggling with these blacks. Like, I see some of these mulattoes, like this one guy, this Golden Pookie, who's like black identified, right? And I guess he fits in with blacks. I guess he even publicly said he doesn't even want to be around black people. How the hell is that fitting in with blacks? And he fucking publicly said he doesn't even want to be around black people. But I see people like him who don't even, like, they want to get a passport, jump on a plane and fly to the Dominican Republic to get a chick. I'm like, that's down bad, bro. Like, you don't like black people like that. How is that fitting in? A lot of these so-called mulattoes who fit in with blacks, and then they got bastard kids by these, they're not really fitting in, man. That's what I'm telling you. Like, they're doing all the work, all the heavy lifting. But that's besides the point. I'm getting sidetracked. Let me get right back on with this comment. Shout out to Val. I see Val's in the chat. I'll get to your guys' comments. Trying to see where I left off at, because I had that idiot I had to block. I think I know who that was. Yeah. I think most mulattoes don't realize, yeah, like I said, how deep the hate goes. Exactly. I'm kind of, like I said, I was in some of these circles, these pro whack circles and stuff. And for me, when I saw the conspiracies they were pushing with Chancellor Williams, the destruction of black civilization, in all your favorite pro whacks push it, whether it be Dr. Umar Johnson, okay, whether it be Tariq Rashid, married to a mulatto, whether it be the main one, Irritated Genie, and whether it be your favorite pro wax on social media, Cynthia G. Cynthia G is another one. She pushes the destruction of black civilization. They all push the same anti-mulatto rhetoric. They all use the same blueprint, the destruction of black civilization. So I started to realize how deep the hate really went. And they use that book, that pseudo historical book, as a confirmation bias for their jealousy and envy of mulattoes. They're like, oh, these pro-wax will be like, oh, I have a reason to not trust these mulattoes. I have a reason to not like them, to be against them, because their pro-whack leader, Chancellor Williams, told them you can't trust a mulatto. So they already have a built-in excuse to how to mistreat you based off a book that was, wrote in the 70s, right? I started to see that shit. I started to notice this pattern with these people. And I started to realize, oh, okay, there's a formula to this. There's a formula to this, okay? It doesn't just happen by accident. So here I am today challenging the rhetoric, okay? Continuing on, someone can never like you when they want to be you, okay? Let me repeat that. Someone can never like you when they want to be you their entire life. And that's what we witness. That's what we see. That's what we experience as mulattoes. And Val wrote this comment. She's a woman. I'm a man. And we can both affirm and clarify this is exactly true. This is what it is. This is the experience that many of us have. We're comparing notes now. And we see this, that like these people, they can't like you if they're jealous of you and your existence when they want to be you, because they want that proximity to whiteness. They're competing with you and against you for white acceptance. Like they'll never like you. So a lot of mulattoes get hoodwinked and thinking, oh, if I just call myself golden, or if I just call myself a yellow bone, then these blacks are just going to like me. A lot of people get hoodwinked into that. If they act a certain way or they label themselves a certain way, it'll be more socially acceptable to the community. Like, it will never work. They don't like you because they wish they were you. Many people don't figure it out. I think Val, I think we're about the same age. I think you said you're kind of in your mid 30s or whatnot. I'm almost there. I'm in my 30s, so we're close to same age. So yeah, I guess I can say we're both millennials, right? And we get it. We see this, that literally they can't like you because they want to be you. It's that deep. A lot of mulattoes don't understand how deep the hate goes. So, but those of you who do understand, you're navigating towards this channel. You hear my voice, you watch my videos, and you're like, aha, there's somebody out here who's speaking my language. There's somebody out here who's been around the block, who's had a bunch of different experiences that correlate with yours, of course. They only see this hate from the black community through their adult experiences. Interesting. And you put here, Val puts, her mom passed away when she was 14. She wasn't that bad. However, I moved in with my aunt, my mom's sister, and daughters. They are ghetto, unlike my mom. That was awful. I was living with my father prior to that, but I couldn't tolerate his girlfriend's behavior. Cool. There's a lot more to this comment. Like I said, that was like the first piece of it. So I'm going to get into the second one. Yeah. Let me get to the comments because I know Val's up in the chat. Shout out to Jezebel Minx. That's really not a great reason to get pregnant in the first place. Jezebel Minx in the house. We got Val. He's acting like the black community is good for anyone, including full blacks. The funny thing is, like, if the black community was so good for black people, why are all these decent, civilized black people skedaddling, getting the hell out, right? Getting their passport and getting the hell out. You're right, right? They try to pretend and hoodwink you that, oh, us blacks, we accept the biracials. If you just identify with us and you're cool, we'll just accept you. Complete bullshit. I laugh. A guy like me, because they can't fool me. So then they're going to say, you're a white supremacist. You don't like black men. You're anti-black men. I don't care about your ass. Nobody's going to kiss your butt. We're going to compete against you just like everybody else. You want to be a little crybaby black man crying about colorism. You're just not going to get any respect over here. Okay. The black men who fight, the black men who compete, they get respect. But the crybaby black men, they get no respect over here. And for the women as well, but I'm a man, so I compete with other men. And Yeah, the guy, like you said, the guy's acting like there's full black people that are 100% black who are like, I got to get the hell out of here. I got to get out of the community. They're going to the Philippines, Asia, whatever they're going. They're going into just to the white community. They're taking their chances. Like, that's all across the board in this nation. We see that all the time. And it's funny, right? For them, it didn't work out. They'll tell you the same shit. I mean, they might be more conservative leaning, but those black people will tell you the same shit. Like, the community is is not uh is not for civilized people. Just period. Okay, you can hate on me all you want. It's not gonna matter. Says my sister stayed in a black community. She became a single married woman while her husband played video games at home. Yeah, and she stayed in a black community. So your sister, so I'm guessing your sister's husband's black, and I'm looking at the correlation here. So her husband played video games. He's a black man playing video games. Yeah, I'm not surprised because that's what I've been laughing at and joking at for the past year with some of the videos and content I'm making. This is what they do. You have a black man in America that loves biracial women. They love light-skinned women. Okay. So what the black man, not all, but I'm saying what typically the black men who don't like me, who whine and cry like bitches when they see me, these black men is very common. Okay. They love light-skinned women. They love biracial women. They hate biracial men. They don't like biracial men because they're competing with you for women. Okay. But with these black men is very common. They love video games. They love to sit on their ass and cry about racism, cry about how they're victims. Okay. But they love video games. They got all this time in the world for video games, but they don't have time in the world to build a farm, to grow food, to develop technology, to help their people. You notice that all these black crybabies, they can't help their own people. They can't help develop you know, uh medicine to cure cancer. They can't grow food to help feed people. They can't take any trips to Africa for like when I was in Ghana, I brought school supplies and gave it to the orphanage. You notice these same crybaby blacks, they can't do anything for any other black person around the world to help better their situation, right? But they got a lot of time on their hands to play video games and to sit on a live stream trying to kick it and chill with biracial women while they're talking shit about biracial men. You see these people. Everybody sees these people. It's not a surprise now. They're just mad that biracial people are up here, mulatto men are up here now with the microphone checking their ass. Now they have an issue with that. Too bad. Okay, because I'm still gonna be here. So you put here, they hate you no matter what you say or do. They hate mulattoes that kiss their ass as well. Yeah, and the ones who kiss their ass, the mulattoes, like they have it down bad, the worst, basically, in that subordinate position. That's the sad part. My aunt allowed her husband to violate, oh wow, her daughter, and is still with him today. I think is this the same comment that yeah. I apologize, Val, if I'm going in order in your comment. I could actually go to the original video. I took the screenshots of this. Let me just continue on with this. It is very, very common with black mothers. My uncle's blood uncle wife chopped my long hair off and told me I wasn't better because my dad was white. Now, you know what? That right there is a very common theme in their community, the hair component, because we know mulatto women, biracial women, you have a white dad or a black dad, white mom or black mom, dual heritage, European and African women have the most beautiful hair on the planet Earth. We know that. Okay. The women that have the best hair are biracial women, period. Mulatto women have the best hair. And they've actually had laws in the United States, in Louisiana, where there was a very high population of these women, mulatto or Creole women in that region. They had a law where they basically made the women wear head wraps, right, to cover up their hair, their exotic hair, because they didn't want the women enticing the men. And also there's other factors there where There was mating rituals. We called the quadroon balls and placage, mating ceremonies, and also prostitution. There's other things that go on there in the Louisiana state with the women, the mulatto women, quadroon women, etc., with white men. But the hair is a significant factor. A lot of the men, even like I said, for me myself, like the hair is a big factor. Like I really like the hair, right? But you see a lot of the jealous black women, they're gonna hate you because of your hair, right? So when you point this out, how it's like you said, my uncle, blood uncle's wife chopped my hair off and told me I wasn't better because my dad was white. They're traumatizing you. This is racism. This is anti-mulatto racism and hate. That whenever you point this out, the black community, they're going to try to spin it and twist it to try to present it as if they're the victims. They're the real victims out here. When they're the ones committing hate on you, they're the ones spreading conspiracies on you. They're trying to say that, oh, the mulattoes sided with the whites in Haiti against the dark-skinned blacks, and now the blacks are just suffering and oppressed. See, these are the same people who are going to spread hate on you, spread conspiracies on you, and even when you're a child, these same racist blacks, they're going to chop your hair off because they're like, oh, if you have a full head of hair, you're going to think you're better than me. I mean, I'm bald, so I don't give a shit, but as a woman, like I'm saying, Val, when I'm reading this comment, I'm saying, like, look, we have a lot of similarities. It doesn't always play out the same way, but we're coming to this conclusion. We compare our notes, our experiences. We see this. Now we have the microphone. We can articulate it in a fashion to where men and women, different generations, different genders, we can see this like, yeah, you're right. This is straight up anti-mulatto hate. Rarely ever gets called out, okay? Because a lot of these mulattoes are in the community talk, kissing black butt, trying to get acceptance from them, or I don't know, some of them, they just want to grow their YouTube channel. They want they want to grow their YouTube channel. They want to just have all the followers because they know in the black sector they can have more followers and more supporters and all this crap, more cash apps because they can't get a real normal job like everybody else. So they want to be on YouTube kissing black butt to get their numbers up. This is what I see with a lot of these mulattoes, where it's like, the damn truth out here. A lot of these people are hating on you just because you got a white mom or a black mom, but you're going to let these people slide out here spreading conspiracies. And then they play the gender game. They try to divide us up based on gender and say, oh, well, yeah, fuck that. I've been seeing this for far too long. Now I'm actually in a position where I can analyze it and say something. Another lie that's told is that black women are better mothers than white women. Yeah, it's a bold-faced lie. I'm college educated, have a bachelor's degree. My brother is a property owner. Doesn't have a bachelor's degree, but he makes a great salary, has a family, supports his family, property owner. My sister, mulatto sister, okay, is a family, and she's married. Okay, her husband's property owner. My sister, bachelor's degree, I think double major. She has 2 bachelors, different disciplines. And so, like, and my mother has a master's degree. So, like, everybody in my family is college educated, has some type of formal college education. Americans, owns property in America. Like, we turned out pretty good. I'm not saying I'm like I don't know if I would say I'm the standard, but it doesn't matter. Like, a lot of us do pretty well. A lot of us, we make it harder for ourselves because we want to prove to these blacks that we're down with the hood. So a lot of mulattoes dumb themselves to fit in with blacks. Honestly, a lot of us are, if we objectively look at ourselves, like, we're doing pretty good. We can accomplish a lot and succeed out here. We have all the tools necessary. And yeah. So I don't know. My situation is like, yeah, I got a white mom and I wouldn't change it for the world. Honestly, I wouldn't change anything. Everything's been pretty good for me, but I realize I do have a lot of haters, a lot of people competing, a lot of competitors. Okay. And that's just normal. You're in a capitalist society. But the thing is, when you compete with these people, a lot of people, they cry racism. Like, why are you going to cry racism or anti-blackness, or you sound angry? Like, I had the one dude I had to block. You sound angry. It's like, well, I'm going to compete. Okay. I'm going to dominate you. I'm going to conquer you. I'm the better man. End of story. You can pack your shit up and go somewhere else and be a crybaby. But over here, I'm going to compete with you. Okay, period. I was at the gym and there's white men in the gym and all this stuff. Look, I'm going to compete. Any environment I'm in and there's other men, I'm going to compete. Period. But we're in a situation in social media, YouTube, whatever. You have a lot of black men who come to they find your channel and all this stuff, and they want to be on this crybaby shit, like whining and crying about racism. Like, nobody cares about your weak ass if you want to cry and whine. Go somewhere else. Go back to the women's channels and cry and be a crybaby over there with the women who already have, bastard kids by other men. Have fun over there. I don't know why you're talking to a man with the crybaby shit. It's not going to change anything. Okay. You can try to slander, shame, or defame and all the stuff. All the information is just going to be documented and recorded. Okay. Moving forward now. Because the days of these black supremacists, pro-blacks, spreading these conspiracies, talking about the mulattoes sided with the white man against the Haitians 200 years ago before I was born, but I read a book and I saw a video about it. So I'm going to tell you, these mulattoes, you can't trust them because they side with the whites against the blacks. Look, all you people have been saying this shit for the past decade. Cynthia G, Tariq Nasheed, Dr. Umar, all your pro-blacks have been spewing this anti-biracial rhetoric. Okay, the days of you people saying this shit without getting challenged is over. As far as I'm concerned, like I said, you can freedom of speech, you can say what you want, but I'm going to document it. Okay, and I'm going to share this information with these other mulattoes. They're going to be awakened. They're going to wake up and realize, hey, they're not going to serve you. Okay, it's going to be the other way around moving forward. Let me continue on. It says, another example of black mothers' jealousy and hate towards their biracial children in the case of Shania Davis. Her black mother sold her for $200 to a black man. She was essayed and deleted within 24 hours. I haven't heard about that case, but I'm going to look it up after this live stream. But that's pretty damaging. Very believable when you look at them and how they operate, especially with how they treat biracial people. It makes perfect sense. When I hear this story, it's like I got to go look it up, and yeah, this is how they treat biracial people. They look at you as a utility. You're here to be used to serve them, right? And if you refuse that position to serve them, they're going to spread conspiracies on you. They're going to say, "Oh, you're mean. You just don't like black men. You're anti." They're going to cry like a bitch to some women. I laugh at when the guys do it. You got guys up on here on YouTube that are going to go run to a woman like a bitch and they're going to cry about another man. How am I supposed to respect you as a guy? Because I don't see I don't, there's other black men and black men channels that that I see that they don't do that. They don't complain about other men to women. But there's some black men there, you can tell they're raised by women. They're raised by a single black mom because they act just like their fucking black mom when they want to talk shit about a man to another woman. Like, what man does that shit? That's what I'm trying to think. Like, how are you going to try to hate on me? You're going to go to another woman's channel and talk shit about me, a man, to a woman. Like, men, that's why your position out here is where it's at. You're not respected by the other races of men. You wonder why. Normal functioning men, they don't do that. They don't dirty Mac. They don't go run to women and complain about another man. Oh, he's anti-black. He's anti-black man. Like, who gives a fuck, bitch? You're just letting the whole world know you're weak. It's all being documented. Continuing on, biracial children are put in danger just being around black Americans. Wow. Wow. even in those cases where mulatto children are called the N word by white family members, this is the better and safer outcome than being around ghetto blacks. Oh, wow. Yeah, because they call you a little word, right? They're going to call you the N word. Ooh, like they said that about Colin Kaepernick. They were trying to, a lot of people were saying, well, Colin Kaepernick was called the N word because of his afro when he was a kid. I'm like, if he was around some of these people in the community, they would have chopped his hair off. You know, like Val was telling the story about this, or excuse me, I don't want to laugh. Val was expressing her own personal story about her when she was a child, and I guess she said Val said her aunt's or her auntie or her uncle's like partner or something like that. It's in one of the comments. Chopped her hair off, her beautiful biracial hair, because the lady said, "Oh, I don't want you thinking you're better." Right? So which one's worse when you judge, you add it up? Would you rather be called a little word? It's so bad you called me the N-word, or would you rather have someone take scissors to your hair, chop your hair off, or beat you up or punk you or something? Look, I was not raised around these people like that. Okay. Of course, I have a black father, black grandmother, black aunts, black uncle, black cousins, stuff like that. Grew up with them. But it's like these extreme circumstances where like I was never punked by them. There was a situation that I did experience when I was at Disney World way back. I was like 9 or 10 years old with my black family in Orlando, Florida, Disney World out there. I'm from Anaheim. Out in Anaheim, we call it Disneyland. But so I've been to both parks here in the States, but out in Florida, they call it Disney World. And there was a situation there. I was with my black family on vacation where there was some outgrouping there. They were trying to pick on me. But the thing was, is like, they were cool with my brother and sister for whatever reason I noticed. But so my cousins were trying to like punk me or position me in a way. I was a kid though. I was a young kid. But the beneficial side to that is I was able to bond with my grandmother on that trip, my father's dad. I still have pictures of that as well, way back I was a kid. So that was a beneficial part of that is I did see some of the kind of outgrouping and try to push me to the side. I was really upset by that as a kid, thinking about it now. But yeah, the opportunity, the negatives of that trip, of like what some of my cousins were doing. It was I had a big, pretty big family on my black side, so it wasn't like all the cousins, but it was a few of them. But that the negative situation there, it actually turned into a positive because like I said, I was able to bond with my grandmother. So I left that situation feeling better. It was a good situation. So I went into all that. Yeah, so like I said, I never had no extremes of like people trying to cut my hair and crap like that. I didn't grow up in no ghetto, no hood. Thank God. Some of these people, I had a clip on my channel. This guy who's like, if you got a white mom and you grew up in the suburbs, I don't want you on my channel. I'm like, okay, good. So the people that got money and got resources, they're not going to be on your channel. This guy, this Golden Pookie, he only wants the black identified biracials who grew up in the hood. Oh, and you got to have a black mom, according to the biracial Pookie or the Golden Pookie. You got to have a black mom and be from the hood if you want to be on his channel. And you look at his numbers, you know, you're like, yeah, okay, yeah, all right. It's not gonna be any money, any opportunities over there. Whatever, have fun. But yeah, okay. You put right here. Most white people want to be white. Most black people seem to hate being black. You just laid it out right there. You laid it out. People can hate on that all they want, but you see it, Val. I see it as well. White people love being white. It's a very small percentage who like have this white guilt where it's on overload to where they want to like claim something else. I've seen white people be like, "Oh, well, my great grandfather's black or my grandfather's black or something like that." Or they'll claim Native American ancestry. There's a lot of white Americans who will do that. They'll try to claim some other ethnic kind of group, some other ethnic identity to try to seem like they're more kind of in proximity or aligned with people of color. And that one of the major factors of that is on environment. if they grew up in like a major city area, Los Angeles or whatever, any other group, any other city like that, then that's kind of a major factor. You'll see that where they'll try to be like, oh yeah, well I'm kind of connected to blacks. I grew up around them, or my great grandfather or something like that. But yeah, most of these whites just want to be white. But when you analyze a lot of black people, they're not even calling themselves black today. Pro-wax, they're saying they're Indians, or what Dr. Umar calls them, pretendians. You literally have black people, black Americans, who are saying, I'm not an Indian, or excuse me, pause, reverse. You have a lot of black Americans that are saying, I'm not even black. I'm not from Africa. I'm an Indian. I had some knucklehead put a comment today on one of my videos. Should have screenshotted it, but it's so common. But this person was like saying that you need to stop calling us black. We're indigenous, coppered colored. I've been seeing those comments for a while though too. We're coppered colored Indians. We're not black. Stop calling us black. We're indigenous, right? They don't even like being black, right? They hate the fact that they're black. They hate the class status, okay? And they think somehow they're going to drag biracials down with them. Not this biracial here. I'll be the bad guy. Okay, you can go to the to the baby mama's channels and cry like a bitch about me. I'll be the bad guy. That's fine. But you're not going to bring me down with your ass. That's not going to happen. You're going to pay me. You're going to hit the Cash App. You're going to give me something. Okay. No more caping over here. But yeah, I've noticed that as well. Like you said, a lot of black people, they don't even like being black, man. Calling themselves Moors, Hebrew Israelites, indigenous. I'm not black. I'm a coppered colored Indian. I'm indigenous and all this crap. Yeah. They're not, it's too public now at this point. It's not like a secret, right? People are too public with their self-hate to where they just give everybody else material to talk about, basically. They hate us way more than whites just for our existences. Yeah. And what you said right here is profound. I wish I could highlight it on this screen. But yeah, because I'm like highlight the I don't have the cursor over the comment, whatever. I'm sharing it. But what you said, your last statement here, they hate us more than whites just for our existence. So Val, you and me are the same. You're a lady. I'm a man. We're both around the same age. I think you're a couple years older than me. They literally hate us more than whites. This is what woke me up to the reality, why I'm so passionate about what I'm doing here, providing a voice, being a kind of messenger, I guess I can say, on social media. Because I started to realize that, especially when I moved down to San Diego. This is like 2018. So this is what, 6 years ago? I was finishing up school. And I realized that like these people, like even though you want to connect with them, like for me, I wanted to learn more, pro-black, learn more about the history and all this stuff, connect with your blackness. That's kind of the standard mulatto procedure, right? When you go to college, you want to embrace blackness more, etc. But what I realized is that you can't help these people, not in today's world. Maybe in the 70s or 80s it was different. Today, you can't help them. You got to let them go. You got to develop your own thing. And because they hate you, because they wish they were you, they want to be you. They hate you, but they love white people. So white people can call them slurs. White people can disrespect them. White people can literally enslave them, enslave their children, enslave them. They will still get on their knees and beg white people for a job, for clean water, and for a place at the table. But you as a mulatto, as a biracial, they literally hate you for existence. They will always, these blacks, they will always side with white people against you as a biracial person. You can't reason with a person like that. You have to be able to analyze them, study them, okay, document it, take notes, and then move accordingly. You cannot reason with an individual like that who will literally sell their soul, sell their children to serve whites. And whenever you walk in a room, they'll put a target on your back. They will side, these black racists, they will side with white people against you as a biracial just for existing. And I saw this recently in the work environment at the university I was at. This is every day. These young mulattoes know this. That's why they're listening to my channel. They know this. This is everyday thing. This is not like a secret anymore. We all see this. Just not many of us are speaking out about it. But Yeah, they hate us way more than whites. Like I said, the whites can enslave them and do whatever they want to them, but they will always love whites. It's mulattoes that they hate. They hate the half white, half black person. They hate you, mulattoes, because you're partially black, because they hate themselves. You're dealing with dangerous individuals that you basically just got to get the hell away from and do your own thing. But for those of you who have bastard kids by these same individuals, I get it. It's going to be difficult because a lot of women, biracial women and men, okay, biracial men, they get a black partner and they do that to basically anchor themselves in blackness. Okay, so they legitimize their position within blackness by having a black person's kid. Now, people use the term a griff, which is a technical term. People outside of the internet, off the internet, they don't use that term. Okay, I can go anywhere in society. I saw a quote unquote griff the other day. He's just a black person. It was a kid, it was a black kid, but nobody's going to call that individual a griff. This is internet jargon. Okay. But a mulatto, you will hear the word mulatto every day outside here. I do because I'm mulatto. This is real. But the word griff or quadroon, people aren't using those terms really. But people on the internet want to play around like that, and that's fine. I have plenty of strange stories related to black women outside of my family as well, including black female teachers and school bus drivers who would lie on me, trying to get me in trouble, singling me out, and so on, trying to set you up. Yeah, that's very believable. Yeah, trying to set you up. And that's what a lot of them do. Yeah, and they'll do that with whites, they'll do that with Hispanics. They'll work with these other groups to set up mulattoes to fail, right? Yeah, so you've seen that, you witnessed that. You said school bus drivers, so I'm guessing that's your kind of childhood. Yeah, yeah, I've seen it in the workplace. I see it today as well. Yeah, these same blacks that I see, they'll team up with Hispanics or whites, and they'll work with them against mulattoes. They can't hide anymore. I mean, they can cry all they want about me. He's anti-black. He's racist. Okay, you can still kiss my ass and hit the Cash App, but you can't hide anymore. Like we all see it. And I have a lady here, Val. We all see it. We see what these people are doing. They're teaming up with these other racists, teaming up against mulattoes, and they think what? You think we're still going to just stay underneath blacks when you've done everything you've could to demonize us and to try to destroy us? Like, what the hell do you think was going to happen? We're going to sit there and take it? Not me. Shit. I remember one black female teacher in second grade seeing a little white girl playing in my hair. She told the little white girl to, ew, stop, don't touch her hair. You don't know what's in it. She would make me stay inside during recess while allowing all the full white, full black children to go outside. Called me spoiled. Oh shit, excuse me. Called me spoiled when I cried. I eventually told my mother, and I overheard my mom talking to someone saying she thinks I was targeted because I was mixed. This teacher was an overweight, dark-skinned black female. So you can see literally the strategies being deployed. You see the tactics, and you have this kind of, I guess you can say, recollection. You see this from from a childhood, Val. You're explaining these stories, and I noticed when I was reading these comments that you put that a lot of this you see the kind of vitriol uh, from black women, right? From black women, and I think it's gendered because it plays a different role, or it plays a different way. Where it's like, for me as a man, I started to see this hate as an adult. I never really saw it as a younger. I mean, when I was younger, because I was in an environment where blacks were the minority, which I think is good if you're a mulatto. If you're a mulatto and you're raised in an environment where blacks are a minority, it's going to be healthy for your ego, for your self-esteem, and for your development, because you're going to be sure of yourself. Because I look at a lot of mulattoes who are raised around mostly blacks, and they're basically cucked. They're punked. And those are some of these guys are my opposition because they're serving blacks and they look at me, they're threatened by me. They look at me as a threat, like I'm a bad guy or something. I'm like, no, I was never conditioned to get punked by blacks. Like that's the difference between me and you. So the environment where we grow up in, it's going to be an important factor in our developmental process. And what I'm saying is with Val, I see some of your stories where it's like a lot of black women. You said the teachers and your aunts, etc. And you have a black mom. We're giving you a lot of hate. Okay. As a child. For me, I didn't really experience a lot of hate from black people as a kid. But like I said, I saw my family and stuff like that on the weekends, and my black family, that is. And I went on vacation. I explained that story. But no, I was in an environment where blacks were the minority. So I think I would always connect with black people. Always had black friends. Because they're a minority, I could connect with them just based off the fact my family have a black family member, so would connect with black people. But it wasn't until I became an adult and I started to move around society, navigate different spaces. Then I was like, oh, I started to analyze their behavior. But the thing is the gender component here, where even as an adult, I've never really gotten hate from black women like that. My whole thing is what I've noticed with black women is that there's a specific archetype of man that they prefer, their preference. They want the degenerate thug who's typically dark skinned. They want the pookie thug, degenerate dark skinned thug, because they want bastard kids from that guy, right? Like a DaBaby, the rapper DaBaby. That's the best example of the type of guy that they want, the archetype. They want that degenerate thug, dark skinned guy, right? So I'm just realistic when I see these women, their mating habits. I'm like, yeah, go have fun, be a bastard, baby mama. But I never really got hate from a lot of them. Like some of them would talk shit, but you know, yeah, I don't know. To me, I've never really got the hate from them. What I've noticed in the working environment, it's been the black men that I've seen. It was just all pure jealousy wherever I was at, especially when I moved to San Diego and at the university I attended and just working in that environment, I really started to see the hate. And even in Los Angeles, when I was working out in Los Angeles, different venues, doing stuff, I really started to see the jealousy in their eyes. These people, they can't hide it. They can't hide their envy and jealousy of us. Okay. And like I said, it plays out differently with the women like Val. You'll see it from black women, the jealousy and envy of you as a biracial woman, but me as a man, I'll see it from the black men. I'll see their jealousy and envy and hate. So I didn't really see a lot of this the racism from these blacks until I became an adult, moving around, working and going to school. Then I was like, oh shit, like you can't just be quiet about this stuff, because their hate is so vicious to where it could be dangerous to civilized society. Like you have to contain it. You have to observe it, highlight it, let everybody else be aware of it, because yeah, it could be dangerous. Look what they do to their own people. Look at the numbers, look at the crime stats and the music they sing about their own people. You want to have that fate towards you? You want them to do that towards you, They'll try to scare you and say, "Oh, well, the police just gonna see you as black." I mean, what the hell is the black gonna see you as? The black's gonna see you as a biracial, and the black's gonna target you. They're already spreading conspiracies. Like, yeah, people who will, like, there's a guy in a chat who's gonna go on another panel and talk about, oh, well, the Haitians, the mulattoes sided with the whites against the blacks. So that's what these blacks will do. These blacks, these racists, they'll spread hate against biracial men. They'll sit there and say, you can't trust these biracial men because these biracial men will side with the whites against the blacks. Look what they did in Haiti. Look what the mulattoes did in Haiti. They sided with the whites against the black Haitians. See, that's what a lot of these blacks are going to do. You see the hate that they're going to do. It's like, you cannot take this stuff lightly. You got to document this stuff and move accordingly, because they're literally spreading hate, putting a target on your back. They're trying to make your life worse out here. Okay. But I said a whole lot there. What I'm saying is that for me as a man, I typically will get the hate from the black men. Not all, not an absolutist. I'm not saying all. The decent, civilized black men, they support me. Those are like my friends or advocates, whatever. But the the blacks with low self-esteem, the jealous, hateful blacks, those are the ones who are really going to hate me. So I don't really get a lot of hate from black women. Like I said, I'm just realistic and I realize that I'm not the preference. Most of the success I've had with women has been with Mexican women, Chicanas, Mexican American. There's so many chicks I can literally on both hands I can count the type of chicks, the Mexican chicks that I've had literally have told me that, oh yeah, I like you. I gave you some because you're light skinned, because you're mixed, because you're not dark skinned. And as an adult, now I know now why a lot of black men are haters. It's straight jealousy. When I have these women, these Mexican women who are literally telling me to my face, oh, if you were dark skinned, I wouldn't even talk to you or look at you. I don't even like you. Oh, but because you're the way you look, how you look, because you're light skinned or because you're mixed, they're like, okay, yeah, that's why I gave you some. It's not only why they gave me some, right? There's obviously other factors there, but the looks is a main contributing factor. Let's be real. So, yeah, I said a lot right there, but it's late. That's what usually happens. So there was another teacher, another black woman who became obsessed with me. Okay, let me go into this one. There was another teacher, another black woman who became obsessed with me. She would offer me rides, and she was one of those mixed worshiping black women who wore green contact lenses and blonde hair. Both of these women were strange towards me in different ways, for the same reason as always, their own self-hate. Yeah. Well, what I was getting at, I think when I just finished off the other statement was that, like I said, I didn't really get a lot of hate from black women. Even today, I don't get a lot of hate from black women, but I'm just realistic. I look at their mating patterns and how they move and how, like, you look at the numbers of like the type of bastard kids, they develop a lot of bastard kids, right? And the type of men they choose. Even when they choose white men, a lot of them, they get like lower level white men. Not all, not saying all, but like there's a YouTuber, she's a divester. Her name is Divested Witch. Okay, that's her handle, Divested Witch. She's a divester. And I look at the white guy she's got, and I'm like, really? Like that? How is that an upgrade? You just got a white guy. Good for you, but like she wants to talk all this shit about black men. But I'm like, how can you talk crap about black men? Like, look at the guy you got. You got just a random white guy. But to a lot of them, just because he's white, I guess that's like a come up or something like that. That doesn't make any sense at all. You just you know that doesn't make any sense. You could have got a black guy that's got money, that's at the gym working out in good shape. No, they got some random white guy that's not at the gym, probably doesn't have money, and but like I said, I'm realistic when I see a lot of black women and like their mating patterns. That guys like me, we're not their preference. Now there is some, like I've banged a few black women who like literally really liked me and stuff like that, and that's fine. Yeah, if like I said, for me, my whole thing is they gotta chase me. They gotta show interest in me. That's the criteria for them. Analyzing them. People are gonna take this and record it and then move forward with it. That's fine, but I'm gonna stick to that. Like they gotta show interest in me for sure, based on because what I've seen with their mating and dating habits. Where I know like I'm not like the preference. I'm not the baby. I'm not some dark skinned pookie thug. Never have been, never will be. So I'm not the preference in that community. I'm realistic. Like I said, the most of the success is Latinas. And they're the most feminine anyway. So it's a win-win for me. I'm not losing any sleep. Of course, my preference is Mulatto. But if this Mulatto has a bastard kid by a black man, she's disqualified. Sorry. You can unsubscribe and go elsewhere. That's it. Let me continue on. Says, by fifth grade, another black female teacher would encourage other students to bully me while she joined in. Yeah. Yeah. And I told you, Val, that I wanted to read this because I think this is significant because, like I said, I think we all relate to this. Most of us, we relate to this, but it plays out in different ways. Like I told you my personal story. I didn't grow up in an environment where it's mostly blacks. Okay. And I think that's a good thing. It's healthy for us because, well, we can get up here and be cocky and confident. Like you see some of the shorts, the comments that I see from these people, and I just sit there and laugh and I grow my channel off their black hate. That's what you have to do. Like, they have to pay you. They have to dance for you or entertain you. They have to pay you. They have to be serving you in some capacity, not the other way around. But when you're young, they want to position you to be their subordinate, to serve them, to prove your blackness. But see, now as an adult, all they're going to do is cry and whine to their white massa. Oh, the mulatto vanguard, he sounds angry. He's anti-black. He's anti-black, man. That's all they can do because they're conquered, defeated cowards. They have no power and they can't be respected by men. Okay. And yeah. So I would never leave a biracial child around anyone black. That's your words here. Okay. But your experience is, like I said, is going to be validated. That's why I want to talk about this. This is mulattoes' experiences are validated. A lot of us, we can sympathize and we understand. Like, it plays out in different ways. Like I said, I'm a man. Me and Val about the same age. She's a little bit older, but we've seen this. We've witnessed this. Okay. And this is just me and her, but I know a lot of you guys, gals, are going to put comments or you'll message me or whatever. You know it's true. A lot of you people, you've witnessed similar situations happen to you, but Val has enough courage to kind of articulate it and post it up here so we can all learn from it, basically. But especially the female ones around black women. As an adult, there is little to no trying me, but they target children because children are vulnerable and black Americans are cowards. They are. The reason why I can publicly say that many black Americans are straight cowards because they attack each other. They attack their own more than anybody else. I know they cry about white supremacy, okay? But white supremacy, see, there's laws in this society about attacking people. I know they want to kind of scare people. Oh, the police and the white racists and all this stuff, but there's laws. Like, you can't just go out and attack people, right? There's laws out here. Most of the attacks that I'm seeing is black on black. Okay. And a lot of mulattoes get stuck into that. Number one, because mulattoes identify as black. They don't publicly, let the world know they're distinguishably different. Okay. So you get stuck in that group. So if you get punked by them, like this rapper to XX Extension, I mean, he's black. He's like a light skinned guy, whatever, but he got punked by these darker skinned blacks and he wanted to act like a black and he got punked by them. So there you go. So there's that. And also, because you're in their group and they feel like they own your ass if you're in their group, so they can punk you, and it's just going to be looked at as a black on black crime when it's really a black on mulatto crime. But a lot of you people, you're not advocating for yourselves. You're not being self advocates. You expect someone else to do it for you. Why would they? Everybody wants to maintain the status quo. The way things are going, people want to maintain it. That's why people cry and whine when the price of fuel and gas goes up by 25 cents, or the milk. You buy a milk carton, it goes up by a quarter. When the prices of groceries start going up, the fuel goes up, the rent goes up. Everybody whines and cries. No, everyone wants everything to stay the same, maintain the same, especially with keeping you goddamn mulattoes as subordinates to these blacks. Everybody wants to maintain the same situation, especially these whites, especially these Hispanics, and for damn sure these blacks. But you know what? I don't see mulattoes questioning it, calling it out, because they're comfortable in the community. At least they got a place they can sit and chit chat and talk crap. But you're still serving the same master that you cry and complain about. How unfortunate. I don't have that issue. So I can be bold and brash and assertive up here. Because what are you going to do to me? You're going to go cry? Going to go cry to the white man? You're going to expose me? So yeah, I agree with your sentiments here, Val. Like I said, your position, you're validated here. Appreciate you for doing this, Val. Continuing on, you put, as for that comment on TikTok, she can't stop pretending she can get anyone else but a Pookie. Most black women are desperate for white men's approval. Black men make them feel unattractive. So when a white man likes them, they value white men's opinions more than the black men. Yeah, and you say white men, but also Hispanic men. I remember I was working with a guy in the security business. This was back, I think, like 2018. I was working with the cat Mexican guy. I think we're still friends on like Facebook. I think, yeah. Shout out to him. And we were working on like a Huntington Beach. They had a a big like skate it was a US Open. So it was like a surfing competition on the beach, literally Pacific Ocean, Huntington Beach. And it was like a 2 month long kind of operation. I was doing private security there and working with this Mexican cat. We're doing long shifts over there. And I remember we were talking one day, and yeah, he was even telling me too. Even this guy, Mexican guy, was not a big stature. He's a short, small cat, Chicano, Mexican American, but from LA area. We were talking. He was telling me, oh yeah, he's like, yeah, I fucked a lot of black chicks. He's like, and he went into detail. He's like, yeah, a lot of black women have low self esteem because black men treat them like crap. Every race of man sees this and knows this to where even this man, this Mexican man, will publicly tell me this. We're just talking, just homies, just coworkers on site, where it's like this is public knowledge. Like the low self esteem that these people exhibit is so profound and so boldly, like, exposed to where everybody can see it. Like, even this guy was like, he was publicly like, yeah, I fucked a bunch of black chicks because the black men treat them like crap and they have low self-esteem. So when they see a guy like me, his Mexican guy was like, oh, and I'm nice to them and I, make them feel special. They'll give it up to him. So it's like every race of man sees this. But who are these black people going to blame? Okay. Is the black woman going to blame the black man? Yeah, they'll do that. Like Cynthia G, the divestors. But you better bet your bottom dollar when it comes down to it, that black woman is gonna side with that black man against your mulatto ass. We saw that with Chrissy. She's siding with Kwame Brown, another dark skinned hater who doesn't like biracials. They're gonna side with each other against your mulatto ass. A lot of you mulattoes, see, I laugh. I do this for fun. It's late at night. I respect and appreciate a lot of you people sharing your stories with me. I share my stories. This is the part of the kind of essence of a community. But it's like I laugh at a lot of these people because it's like you allow these people to punk you out here. And they're working together. Dark-skinned black women are teaming up with white supremacists. Dark-skinned black men are teaming up with white supremacists to neutralize and to vilify mulattoes. You see this. You see how they get on social media and complain. Cynthia G talking about black men, this and that. But Cynthia G pushes the same Chancellor Williams anti-biracial conspiracies, the same shit. Dr. Umar, the same crap. They all work together. I mean, in secret, they're all working together to hate and neutralize mulattoes because they all want your position. They're competing with you to get their master's approval. Okay. So I get a kick out of this. It's like, yeah, I see all this stuff. And all these other races of men, when they see how a lot of these women operate, and I've known this for a minute, it's hilarious. Yeah, these people, they're not fooling me. That's why they don't like me. I'm the bad guy because they can't fool me. If they could fool me, then I wouldn't be a threat, right? I'd just be another knucklehead. But yeah, the quote unquote confusion comment never made sense. I can dislike a full black person and still like myself since we are two different people. What does me or my mother have to do with a random black person online? They always want to speak through your black parent, the nerve. Yeah. Yeah. I think I feel like they feel like it has more of an effect if the mother's black, if it's a black woman who wants to speak through the black mother. Where I feel like with the men, it doesn't have that effect. Also, because men are more competitive. Because a lot of black men, basically their main argument is that, well, you're the seed of your father. I'm like, I don't give a shit about the seed of my father. I came out of a European woman's womb. I'm just as much white as I am black. That the conversation basically stops there with black men. They don't try to push this social influence. They'll come up with scare tactics after that. Well, what about the police? Well, it's like, well, I don't act like you savages. Okay, I obey the law. I don't promote degeneracy and criminality and thug music. So I'm a gun owning, civilized American. So I don't have issues with the law. I live down the street, on my same street, I should say. There's two law enforcement officers who live on my street. I'm gonna do everything I can to be, nice with those guys whenever I see law enforcement. So yeah, there's that. So I don't have issues in that area. And yeah, they try to speak through your parent. I feel like they feel like it has more an effect if it's a black mom. They really push that a lot with us. One of the reason why I'm gonna talk about with Dr. Umar, because he's gonna speak on it, is because most of us in America, even in the UK and Canada, have black fathers and white moms. Most of us have white moms. So they feel like they can't reach most of us, but they want to vilify most of us because they don't like you in general. I already knew that. It doesn't matter if you have a black mom, they don't like you because they hate themselves. They hate being black. And the fact that you're half white, they wish they were you so they can get closer to white people. Their true love, right? They were basically conditioned through colonialism and slavery to worship their master. So they want to use you as a proxy to get there, that acceptance. And so I already knew, like, it doesn't matter if your mom's black or mom's white. These people will always move the goalpost. But because white mom biracials are the majority in these nations, black men have the free will to procreate and date who they want to. And since our numbers are larger, and so they want to vilify most of us. Okay. So they're going to try to pretend like, oh, this smaller demographic, you got a black mom. So you're more grounded in the culture. You're more down with the hood. You understand black people more. You understand them more. Right. See, they'll play that game. Right. But they don't like any of us. So they'll try to trick you, make you think. But yeah, I've always known that's all just pure bullshit. Now, they judge you based on how you look. When you walk in the damn room, they don't know if your mom's black or your mom's white. They see you, they're like, oh, you're light skinned or half European. Especially if you're proud of yourself, they're gonna see you, and then they're gonna really hate that because they're not proud of themselves, right? They're trying to call themselves pretendians now, right? Indians, pretendians. So they hate the fact that you're confident and they're not, right? So that's really why they're gonna hate on you. They wish they had your confidence. They wish they were proud of, you know, that's on them. So I think this is the last bit of it. Yeah. So Val puts here, say you take a racist white person and a racist black person. When I dated the black guy when I was younger, his mom called me a white biatch, tried to call the police on me, lied to them. The crime was her son dating a mulatto. Wow. Nothing happened because she lied. Still, it shows how mentally ill most black women are if you are mulatto. Yeah, like I said, Val, because you are mulatto, you have a black mom, so yeah, and this is your experience. Like I said, for me, I have a black father, but most of my like the experiences I have is not from like negative experiences, not from black men. Oh, excuse me, pause. Not from black. It's getting late, guys. Sorry, it's not from black women. Most of my negative experiences have been in the black community from black men. But what I realize is black men, especially if you're a degenerate, you're a thug or a piece of shit, you're basically the standard in a community. You're coddled, right? The black community coddles black men, right? Especially if you're a piece of shit. They love the degenerates because they want to have control. They want the male body to control because it's a matriarchy. Black women control the black community. Other communities, it's not like that. In the Latino, the white, or the Asian community, these are mostly patriarchies where the men are the ones who control. But it's the complete opposite in the black American community where the women control, the black women. So therefore, there's a caliber of man they want, where they want to reproduce this kind of stupid idiot that they can run game over and control so they can maintain power. Okay. So they want that pookie thug like the baby. They want that type of caliber of guy because they want to be able to run game over him. They want to use him for his sperm, be a sperm donor, and they want to use him as a human wallet for resources. And if they can't get money from him, they'll go to the government, their white zaddy, and beg for food stamps, right? Section 8 housing. So we kind of see the scenario, we see the strategy, the game that's being played. So I always realize that that's the kind of caliber of guy they want. So a guy like me, college educated, can speak English, articulate myself. I'm not a savage. I don't need to resort to violence to get my point across. I can just speak to you face to face and look at your arguments and critique them and move forward from that. So a guy like me, I already realize I'm not the desired guy. I'm not the archetype of a guy like me is not desired. Like they clown Drake every opportunity they get. He's light skinned, he's simping, he's weak. I remember a black woman one time, some chick I was trying to get with a while back. I remember she one time was like, "Oh, I like Drake, but he's kind of simping." And I right away I kind of checked her. I was like, "Wait a second, why is he a simp? Why are you saying he's a simp?" And she gave some stupid excuse. I don't know, maybe, you know, I was thinking, oh, because some of his songs are kind of love songs, Drake. But I was thinking to myself, why are you going to label this man as a simp, Drake? He's a musician or an artist. He doesn't play an instrument, but he sings songs. Some of them are like weak love songs. Those are the songs I don't listen to. I don't like. I like some of Drake's songs, but not the love songs, right? But if you're a dark skinned man and you're Keith Sweat and you're singing love songs, you notice they don't call Keith Sweat a simp. You notice that because he's a darky, right? They're not gonna call him a simp. Oh no, because he dark and he chocolate. He dark and he from the hood. But Drake, they want to call him a simp because he sings love songs. Because he's a mulatto man. You see how they try to play or hate and devalue you. So I remember I questioned that person. It's like I see what's going on here with these people. I know the mulatto man is not the preference in the community. No hate, no shade. It's all good. Take it easy. I was never a part of your group, never will be. I'm doing good. I realized that even as a young adult, I was like, man, I can get way better chicks. All these Chicanas in Los Angeles, these Latinas, I'm good. Let me just get some mulattas in there, maybe, some hoppas, whatever. I'm good. I'm good. I don't need the communitas validation of what it is to be a man. Oh, he a real man, and all this pookie swag. And he got all these illegitimate kids. Like you don't have these families, these functional families, these communities. And I'm sitting there like, I don't want that shit for my future. I'm good. I'm good. If I'm not validated by you people, I'm good. I'm good. I'm just realistic. I know that I'm not the standard there. Okay. They want me to serve, to be a pro whack, like a lot of these mulattoes have been, the boomers and Gen Xers. They're trying to find their place in black society, being foot soldiers, while the dark skinned guys are chasing light skinned women and white women, having more bastard kids. We see what's going on. The white men I've dated, one of their mothers was actually racist. However, she still bought me a diamond necklace for Christmas. She did not want her son with me because I wasn't white. Yet, she still treated me with the human decency, more than I can say for even a single black woman encounter. The reality is, the racist white woman treated me better than anyone who was black. It showed me how kind and generous even hateful white people can be versus the average black American. Yeah. It's very interesting, your story. Like I said, your experiences are going to be validated here on this channel. That's why the main function of this channel is to validate your guys' experiences. This is ours. This is for us. It's ours. You identify as mulatto. This is for you. You belong here. But yeah, that's pretty interesting. Yeah, because you say like the average black Americans, like, well, they can't hide their racism towards mulattoes. And you already mentioned earlier in this comment where it's like they love white people. We know racist blacks, they love white people, but they hate mulattoes. But they love even like Mexican people. I see it, and even Asian, everybody, but they hate themselves. See, the reason why they hate the mulatto is because they hate anything that resembles blackness. And because we look partially black, we have African genes, African uh, uh, features. Okay, some of us more than others. Our phenotype, that's what they hate. They hate. You're looking at people who are conquered, who hate themselves, and so they project that onto us. That's why you look at their behavior, and Val, you can attest to that when you analyze their behavior. There's a reason why they love white people. You notice that with these blacks, they love white people. But the half white person with the white dad or white mom and the half black person, they hate that person. They despise you. And I tried to figure it out for a while too. I was pondering, thinking about it. It's like, why are these people like so cowardly and conquer? And I realized, like, oh, they're jealous of you. They wish they were you. And not only that, they hate themselves. They hate the fact that you're half black. That's what it is. Once you figure that out, you're liberating yourself. And then you just got to distance yourself away from them. Find other people who are similar like you, as you found me. Shout out to you. You're here. You're supposed to be here. And from there, you can move forward. Okay. And yeah, so it says both racist with two different outcomes. Even racist whites are nicer and safer for mulattoes than the average black American. What it is the civility, what I've analyzed. And a couple other mulattoes didn't like the way I presented the information. But what you put right here was even the racist whites are nicer and safer. The civility, even they're civilized, even if there's racism and there's kind of exclusion, right? Like they might say, they'll use a slur towards you or say something, but like they'll still open the door for you. They'll hold the door open for you or something, or right, or like in your case, you said this woman, the man you dated, the man's mom like bought you a necklace or something. Like even though they don't like you, like they'll still buy you something or they'll hold the door open for you. So there's more civility there. I've noticed that too. But when you get with that average, just the average, we can talk about averages. I'm not saying all, but we're talking about averages. You say like a black American, they cannot hide their jealousy, resentment, and their viciousness and racism towards mulattoes because they feel like you're stuck in their group. You're underneath them. They feel like they can do whatever the hell they want, say whatever they want. That's why you have a black guy who's in my chat. This same black guy will go on a black channel and talk shit about mulattoes. He'll say that mulattoes sided with whites against Haitians. He'll try to throw shade on us and hate on us. And then he'll go to a biracial woman's channel and he'll talk. All he does is talk shit about biracial men. It's all this guy does. And he has the balls to come over to my channel. Like the dude's just a crybaby. But this is what they do. This is their racism. They'll spread all this anti-biracial hate and racism towards the men because they want the biracial woman. It's like, man, that shit's played out, bro. Most of my supporters are biracial women. We all see this shit. We see how you people operate. Just because a couple of biracial women who are baby mamas, because they'll entertain you. Yeah, because you're a fucking simp. You're a black manosphere simp. Everybody can see it. So, most of my supporters, this is just YouTube, homie. We talk about TikTok and Instagram and Facebook. Like most of my supporters are women, mulatto women. So that little game that they try to play with us, it's not working with me. But yeah, shout out to Val. Like she was saying here, it's like, yeah, I've noticed the same thing. And a couple of the mulatto guys didn't like the fact that I pointed it out. It was like, yeah, well, even if the whites are hating on your ass, like there's still a level of civility. I've noticed that as well. They'll hold the door open for you. They'll buy you a necklace in Val's case. But yeah, with the average black, like they're just so hateful. They'll slam the door in your face. They'll talk shit. They'll conspire against you. Like I talked about this guy who was in my chat, Black Manosphere guy. He'll go on an all black channel and talk about the mulattoes sided with the whites against the Haitians, and this biracial guy is anti-black man. He's the same Black Manosphere guy is going to say I'm anti-black man, even though I have a black father. He's going to say the same thing about the Ant Report. The same guy was talking shit about the Ant Report, who's ultra black identified. He deleted his channel, but the Ant Report, the black identified, this Black Manosphere guy is going to talk shit on every biracial guy who doesn't kiss his black ass. And then we're sitting here like, bro, nobody cares, man. You can go cry to the baby mamas, but how effective are they? Like most of the biracial women support me. I have the numbers. Most of the women support me. So, and you're a Black Manosphere guy. Why don't you stay your ass over in a Black Manosphere? That's why I don't. You guys are really stupid. All you're doing is giving us material to talk about in the end, and you're going to further our case for why we got to get the hell away from you. But yeah, like Val says, the average Black American, it's not going to be safe when they're spreading these conspiracies about you and this hate. And it's like, well, you want to, which one do you want to take? A white person, maybe saying a mean word to you. To me, I don't give a shit. I say mean things back. Like I said, at the gym I was at, if a white person says something or slur, even the other day, it was yesterday, I was somewhere, it was a Mexican guy said something. I said something back. That's how I am. And I do the same with these blacks, but see, a lot of these blacks, they're not used to that. They're not used to mulattoes talking back to them. I know that because I look at these Xers. These Xers, I'm sorry, and I know a lot of these Xers don't like the fact that I put them on the spotlight, but I'm talking about the men, not the women, not the not the Gen X women. The only mulatto women that I'll really critique is if they got, I don't care what generation they are, but is if they got bastard kids, okay, by Pookies. Those are the main ones that I'm gonna basically laugh and mock. Okay, period. But but when I'm talking about Generation X, I'm mainly talking about the men because those are the guys who I've come into kind of a conflict with. Just not on YouTube only, but on Instagram and Facebook. I had to kick a guy out of my group on Facebook. He's a Gen Xer, mulatto guy. But yeah, it's mainly the guys that are Gen X that I feel like because a lot of them were conditioned to be punked by these blacks. So when they see a guy like me who's like, hey, if you're a black and you call me out my name, I'm gonna call you out your name. This is just not just YouTube. This is off the internet. If I see your monkey ass in person and you want to say some stupid shit to me, you're gonna get it right back. So this is a real deal. You can go cry and go tell the white man, go cry to YouTube and go cry to my employer and all this stuff. But you're not punking me over here. Okay, that's just period. And they're not used to that energy. They're used to these mulattoes getting punked, being subordinates. And it's very unfortunate because it does a disservice, especially like I said, I'm here to serve mainly these younger people. So when you have these younger mulattoes, I don't want them to come up here and think it's acceptable to be punked, to be a subordinate to another group of people. That's why I'm here. It's like, look, I'll take the L. I'll be the bad guy. Okay, you can go cry about me, go tell on the white man that I'm so bad, go tell all these companies, tell my employer that I'm a racist and all. That's you could do that to me. That's fine. I'm going to be here and let these younger people know you cannot allow these people to punk you. You can't. You're going to have to take a stand. So yeah, there's more and short story, yeah, there's more civility I've found. It's true. But it doesn't matter if you're white or black or Mexican, whatever. If you say something to me, you talk some shit, I'm gonna talk shit back. And that's how we're doing it today. So finishing it off, it says, I found it so annoying seeing so many mulattoes complaining about missing out on black culture growing up, complaining about their white mothers trying to fit in this awful community. Well, see, I say communita because, we got to make a distinction where there's good elements. There's a lot of good positive elements within black society, black community, primarily if you're organized around the church. Now, I'm not really Christian like that. I was raised Christian. Both sides of my family, white and black, are both Christian. But yeah, specifically like my black side, they're Christian for sure. So that would be the more positive element where I would see the community function. What I see with black people. So there's a community there for sure. Even the black people I've met throughout my life, when they're kind of connected to the church endeavors, Christianity, these are the good people, the good like black Americans that you want to associate with. But like you say, awful community, I would say awful communita. This is kind of your rank and file hood booger, especially if they're pro-black. If they're pushing any like pro-black shit, they're scum. Okay. They're scum. If they're not just, if they're pushing pro-America, pro-good person, or like I said, pro-Christianity, which is pro-family, because Christians, they promote family, being a decent person, being good in society. So these are good people, in my experience, my opinion. But if they're pushing this pro-whack shit, they're pushing pagan religions and pro-whack and goddess worship and ancient Egypt and their kings and queens smoking blunts. And these are scum. These are scum, and they're going to be racist. They're going to be totalitarians. They're going to try to use mulattoes. They're going to spread conspiracies on mulattoes. So that would be the communita. Yeah. They have no idea what they're talking about. Sorry. But even the ones who say they were called the N word, I'm like, oh, that's all that happened to you? Sounds easier than growing up around Black Americans. Yeah, right. Like I say, I've been called the first time I was kind of confronted with like racism. I think actually, no, I was really young. I think it was like a Mexican kid, Chicano kid. I was like 6 years old on the playground. I was confronted with racism, but later on, like a couple years down the line, it was in the Boy Scouts, but it was a white guy, white kid who was in the same group as me, same Boy Scouts. I remember I'm half white, have a white mom, so I grew up around a lot of them, and I've had white friends my whole life. But yeah, this white kid, he said he called me a slave when I was really young. I was like 8 years old. And it was interesting because a conversation, we were just talking about like something very like very minor. Like we were talking about music. I think it was like Blink 182 because we're from California. Blink 182 is a big deal out there, especially in the 90s at that time. We were talking about music and we're talking about like the albums, like the chronology, the order of when the albums came out. Something so minimal and stupid, like a little stupid argument, it turned into like a racial thing. But it was on his end, this white kid, right? We were both in the same like troop. They call it troops in the Boy Scouts. I remember he called me a slave, and it kind of took me aback at that age. It kind of hit me. I was like, "Whoa, how do I respond to this? This is kind of weird." Like I understood what slavery was just based in elementary school. We study kind of some of the ancient Egyptians and the class structure and hierarchy. That was my first reference to slavery. It wasn't with like Black Americans or African Americans. Okay, in the elementary school system here in America. Okay, at a young age, when I introduced to like the concept of slavery, it went back to ancient Egypt and the class status, right? So that's what I thought about then. But this guy, this kid, he was a kid, he called me that a slave. And I was like, whoa, what the hell? Like, how do I respond to this shit? This is weird, right? So that was when I'm thinking about it right now as a man in my 30s. I was probably like 8 or 9 years old or 10 around there. So it was a while ago, right? That was the first time that I was like confronted with like the racial thing from white people. But it was definitely awkward. And yeah, that's all I can say about that. Where it was like, yeah, it was just words though. It was just words. Like I'm thinking about it now. It's like it was just the words, like a misunderstanding, some mean words. Like it made me feel weird and awkward at first, but I got over it like within like seconds. It wasn't a big deal at all. It was a learning experience, to be honest with you. But yeah, if anyone wants to tell you that someone called you the N word or called you a mean word, that's worse than someone literally trying to cut your hair off because you have biracial curls or something, it's like, yeah. Yeah, I think I got all that. Shout out to you, Val. Been 2 hours deep into this. I know I told you, Val, that I was gonna like talk about this a couple days ago, do a live stream, but yeah, I just been like super busy with work and I'm gonna be a lot more busier this upcoming week and stuff. But I want to hop up on here. Like I said, this is for you guys. I do this for you, period. And you guys, your experience is gonna be validated here. I want you guys to know you have a voice and you belong here because they're doing everything they can. They, meaning pro-black, to destabilize you, to get you to serve them. Um, they love saying you mad, you hurt. Yeah, I'm so hurt, I'm so mad. Yeah. They actually end up blocking me because they end up hurt by the time I'm done. I know them. I grew up with them. I know their weaknesses. Yeah. Their weakness is not accepting them, is outgrouping them, right? Making othering them. That's their weakness, right? Yeah, your anger as someone say like you're coming from a place of hate or I sense hurt. I think I got a comment from that recently, some weak ass comment about I'm sensing hurt in you. And then they want to put like Bible verses. Like there's a guy, he's a biracial guy too, which is sad. But you know, black identify. He's trying to do his little hip hop rap songs. And this guy said the same crap. He's like, "Oh, you're coming from a place of hurt or something or hate." And he quoted the Bible verse Man, go take that back to the black church you learned that from. Get out of here, man. Like, I'm not, no. Like, they want to do everything they can to silence and shame you. It's just, nah, not anymore. We have the microphone. Too bad. I'm one dude. Okay. There's other people who are going to start up uploading content. It's inevitable. I'm one guy. There's other people, other women. They're going to continue to, you know, press forward. This is only going to continue and grow. You can laugh. It's actually funny because it goes against everything they say. Shout out to DC. DC's in the house. I got something for DC. You put here, there are documentaries on Shayna Davis on YouTube. Also, a black white biracial was Zara Burgess. White dad deleted her. I've known about them for years because both of those cases happened in North Carolina. Interesting. Yeah, I've heard, I think, of that woman you mentioned, or the girl who had her white dad. Yeah, I heard of that situation. That's a pretty bad, pretty gnarly case. I heard about that. It's unfortunate. And it happens to a lot of us. And the thing is, with a lot of us, is we end up in foster care. Our numbers, our stats are pretty high in a foster care system, and we have to do something to change that. Especially those of us who are older. This is where putting our money, putting our money to where our mouth is. Where we have to basically contribute, develop an organization, association to help solve these issues. As far as obviously the bone marrow transplant, that's one of our big dilemmas. And then also with the foster care, we look at the numbers. Like, there's so many people I interact with that are mulatto that grew up in a foster care system. Like, we have to change that. We have to change that. And how are we going to change that? We have to find solutions. I'm taking some notes, even when I'm at work and I have like a break or whatever. I open up my notebook and I write down notes, and I have something here. Even the other day, I was writing down. That was on one of the top on the list that I had as far as the foster care situation. We have to find solutions to that. We create associations, create funding, and I saw something. Christian Bale, he donated, I think it was like $10 million. He opened up a foster care in California. I saw it on social media about a week ago. I don't know all the details, but I know Christian Bale donated like a couple million. Now, he's a successful actor. He's got a lot of money, right? So he can donate a lot of money and make things happen. But we can even do something on a minor scale, even if a lot of us do look like crowdfunding, put our money together, get some ideas going, get some people who are serious. This is something I'm thinking about. Like, in the future, we have to solve that situation where it's like, look, we can't have these mulattoes growing up in an environment where they're hated and despised, even by a lot of us, by our own parents. But I feel like it's even extremely difficult with those of us who grow up in like the foster care, because our numbers are very high there. A lot of us who don't have our mom or father or whatever gave us up for adoption. I think even Colin Kaepernick came from he was adopted, right? So he was through the foster care system. So he was adopted by a family, a good family. It's sad with Colin Kaepernick, that family that adopted him. Now he's going to turn around and throw them under the bus with little minor claims of racism, right? So he can make millions of dollars with Netflix and Hulu. That's why a guy like that, we can't support no guy like that. Let black people support him. Black people love the mulatto crash test dummy who's going to throw white people under the bus to glamorize the degeneracy of the community, to uphold the proud victim narrative. That's Colin Kaepernick's one of theirs, let them. But it's like, fuck, man, he grew up in a foster care, and it was white. It wasn't black people that adopted him. It was a white family. The hell? Oh, because they might have called him a word because they were mad at him. That's the worst. They gave you food, clean water, roof over your head. You would have never made it to the NFL, championship Super Bowl game if it wasn't for that white family, period. But this is what we see with a lot of these ungrateful brats. Yeah. And then DC says they do not have a better outcome because of a black mom. Yeah, it's bullshit. It's a lie. It's just a lie. The environment's the thing. It doesn't matter if your mom is black, you have a white father, but if you're the environment you're in, like the I don't know the lady's name, but Ketanji Jackson, she has a daughter, a mulatto daughter, right? Ketanji Jackson's a Supreme Court justice, the newly appointed Supreme Court justice. She's a black woman. She's married to a white man. She has a child from him. It's a mulatto daughter. I don't know her name, but I watched the video. I saw her and a few images, and I'm looking at her. Like, to me, she looks like she's raised in a good environment. She's going to be successful whatever she does. I'm pretty sure I can bet on it. I could bet money on it that young girl she has a black mom, but it's because of the environment. She's looks like she's not going to be raised around all black people in the hood, struggling from the hood. Okay. And that's very important. So the environment's critical, whether your mom or your dad, regardless, it's the environment. So like I said, don't let blacks try to play games with you, try to divide us up based on our parents. They want to divide us up so they can use you, so you can serve them, okay, while they're turning around the corner, kissing white butt. So Val puts here, the sad part is that I used to defend black people, black women. We all did. A lot of us did. We were kind of socialized to think if we defended black people, we would get membership access. But as you know, Val, and I know, we're similar age. We grow up out of that. We kind of awakened. We smelled the coffee. We had our biracial wake up call. We realized that we were hoodwinked. We were played as fools, right? We honestly thought that, okay, if we defend these people, we defend the humanity of black people will see our good intentions and they will welcome us in with open arms. They will love and will respect us and they'll value us because they'll know that we are basically an asset to them. And we honor them, right? We defend their humanity. What else? What higher standing, what higher position than that, defending their humanity? But as you know, Val, it's all BS at the end of the day. With the rank and file, as you said, average, not saying all, I'm saying average Black American. They despise mulattoes. They'll spit on you and they'll look at you as a crash test dummy. They'll use your good nature and good deeds and they'll take advantage of that for their own selfishness to get closer to whites, right? And so we've all been there. A lot of us have been there. Those of us who listen to this channel, who come to that conclusion, who are awakened, who realize, yeah, I took an L. I took an L there, caping for the community. I thought it was a noble cause. I thought I was doing something good, defending their humanity, only for them to turn around and spit in your face and spread conspiracies about you saying, oh, you can't trust him. Don't trust the guy who's been helping you out in defending your humanity. Don't trust him because he'll side with the white man against you. Yeah, the same white man that your average black is kissing their butt, trying to work for them, work for their jobs, trying to date their women. Okay, trying to get with the white woman. Right? Yeah, yeah. So me and you figured it out, right, Val? You put, they gave me nothing but hate and shit in return. Yeah, same with me. That's kind of where you can hear the vitriol in my voice, I think, because like I realized in my 20s and when I was caping the pro black phase is I really have nothing to show for it, but I have nobody to blame but myself. That's honestly, I have to take that on the chin. I have nobody to blame but myself. It's a learning lesson. That's why I'm passionate about this, because I'm trying to let these younger mulattoes know, don't do the same thing. Don't get hoodwinked and fooled into thinking it's a noble cause to defend people who hate you and who are jealous of you. Don't do it. You got to find other similar mulattoes. Okay. Don't do it. Don't fight for the community. Don't do it. Don't do it. Those people hate you. They wish they were you and they want to get closer to white people. I'm telling you, save yourself time. Save yourself, because I wasted a few years in that pro whack shit and you're going to waste your time with these people. Don't do it. If you want to help black people, okay, go to Africa. Like I did, go to Ghana. There's orphanages, there's schools, there's people who have culture, identity, help them. But if you're in America, don't waste your time with them. Don't do it. Don't do it. They got to figure it out on their own. That's where you hear the vitriol. You hear the vitriol with me because I realized I wasted time. Okay, and I am kind of upset. Like I'm saying, I need a payback. I need to get compensated for all the caping I did defending the humanity of these people in the community. I need to get paid back, man. I spent some time doing that shit. I met Dr. Umar, you know. I did all that crap in LA. It's like you people owe me, man, straight up. I'll probably never get nothing from you, but fuck it. I'll sit up here and laugh at when necessary. So Val puts by the time I was 20, I had left the black community totally. Life got better. Yeah. Yeah, I was in my I got my official wake up call my late 20s, like around 28, 29. Then I realized I was like, yeah, it's done. You can't help these people. Yeah, I can't. And white people, they're gonna, more and more now, conservatism's growing, so they're waking up. Yeah, people like Scott Adams, who's telling his whole audience, just don't even live next to them. Get away. They don't like you, and get away from them. So more and more whites are waking up. So Hispanics are already, they're basically the, I don't like to use the word, but replacement for the FBA. So they're not going to side. That whole people of color or black and brown coalition, they're not going to side with them. Okay. So they're basically on their own there. So, but it's on their, they asked for it. Okay. They wanted to spit in the face of mulattoes. So they asked for it. I was writing my childhood experiences with black people because they were more aggressive and direct, like cowards. As an adult, it's done in a different way. Interesting. Yeah. 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 You put older black women loved Brian McKnight. All of his songs were simp songs. Yeah, I mentioned even Keith Sweat, right? I've never heard Keith Sweat because I'm a 90s, I'm a millennial, just like you, Val. And you know, I've never heard Keith Sweat referenced as a simp, and it was all love songs, loving. Is Keith Sweat married? Does he have a woman? I mean, is he married? Is he? Nobody ever called him a simp. He's a R&B heartthrob, right? He's an R&B guy. He has good songs, good music. I'm not hating on Keith Sweat or nothing. I'm a 90s guy. So I'd hear those songs on the radio. So nothing against Keith Sweat, but I've never heard anybody reference him as a simp. But for some reason with Drake, this hip hop artist, like I said, this black chick I was, trying to get with, this is a few years ago, several years ago, she called him a simp, Drake. I'm like, how? Why is he a simp? And she gave some stupid ass excuse or response. I'm like, people just push this narrative on that guy because he's mulatto, because he's biracial. This is what they do in their community, in their black community. They do everything they can to player hate and to destroy the reputation, the image of biracial men as being duplicitous, like Obama. He didn't do nothing for black people. They want to say he's duplicitous, he's working for white people. And then, even though he's married to a black woman, but that's not good enough for them, right? And then with Drake, they'll try to say he's weaker and shit. I just been noticing this stuff. I was like, why? You can't cape for these motherfuckers. They got to pay you now. Fuck that. If they want you to cape, they got to pay you. You said Charleston White is another hypocrite clown. His kids are mixed Hispanic, and he said Mahomes isn't black. But previously, he said someone was threatening his, quote, black kids, claiming them black when convenient. I don't listen to that degenerate savage. Charleston White, I see he's all over social media. I seen his face, his picture. You said he has mixed kids, Hispanic. I'm not surprised. He's a typical savage. He's black American. I'm not surprised. I don't listen to that guy, Charleston White. You'll probably never watch me do a review video of that guy. That's what else is there to say? I said enough as it is. You know what I think about him. Okay. He also said we have to look for our fathers, even though he was a bastard to a teenage. Yeah, he was another bastard. Yeah. With no dad himself. He also insulted our hair like always do. They wish they had naturally. Yeah. Yeah, he's just a degenerate that I don't even care to even think about. Thank you for sharing my post. Yeah, appreciate you, Val. I think we're about it. Hugh Jackman adopted 2 mulatto children for this very reason. I gotta look into that. Wasn't aware of that. Shout out to you. Appreciate that. And appreciate your comment, Val. I had the link drop if you wanted to join, or I understand if you don't. It's late anyways. I'm gonna get, sign off and then go to sleep, wake up and go to the gym. But it's been a pleasure talking with you guys today. I know obviously my detractors are not gonna like it. They're gonna go whine and cry to their white massa or to some biracial women, right? Because we know, who are my haters? Is it black women? I don't think so. Like I said publicly, I know with Val, your experience, you're a biracial woman. It's different. I've known that for the past 2 years. Like, look, there's a lot of overlap and similarities with us. Okay, mulatto men and women. We're developing this community, this consciousness, this cohesion. But a lot of mulatto women, a lot of their haters are gonna be black women. Just jealousy, period. But it's this with biracial mulatto men, it's the complete opposite. Most of our haters are black men. They're going to be jealous, they're envious. So it's like when I'm looking at your story and the examples you share, and I understand, I sympathize with you, and I respect and I appreciate the fact that you're sharing that. And I know exactly, I feel you on that. But yeah, with me, like I've black women, I've never gotten like the hate like that I can think about, and I have a black dad, but yeah, it's mostly been these black men, black Americans. Let me be specific. Wasn't Ghanaians, it wasn't Jamaicans, it wasn't black men from the Caribbean or Haitian black. It was black Americans. Okay. Just like my dad's black American. I've seen a lot of hate, and these are the same ones pushing these anti-mulatto conspiracy theories. Okay. And it all comes down to sex because they want to be selected. They want biracial women. So they want to hate on me to get not only biracial women, but the Hispanic women. So you mentioned DC mentioned Charleston White, who has a Hispanic wife. So yeah, or even Phil Scott, the Phil Advice Show, he has a Hispanic wife. So yeah, they'll hate on biracial men to try to get the Hispanic woman. That's what they do. They call it dirty macking, player hating. Because you had a guy up in the chat. I didn't look. I saw a couple comments and just kind of chuckled. It was like, I'm not gonna give you no shine. There's that black guy is a crybaby. Bluish Gelato pointed that out a minute ago, a while ago, a year ago. You got these black manosphere guys who like they just want a light-skinned woman. They want a biracial woman. And when they see biracial men speaking up for biracial people, their job, these black manosphere, not all, but I'm saying these ones who come over here and interlope, they want to hate on biracial men and say that we're racist and we're anti-black. It's like, okay, well, you can kiss my ass then, bitch. I don't care. You have no power over here. Go cry to white people. But they'll try to hate on us and slander us, right? And say we're bad guys, right? And they'll do that to gain favor with biracial women. This is literally the only strategy they have. And these are the same black men who complain about black women. They complain about black women and then they complain about biracial men. Yeah, because they want the other races of women. These are cowards. You can't respect these men. They don't act like men. They're cowards. They're boys. So people hear me use the term boy, and I look at a lot of them like that. You act like a boy because you cry about you're anti-black man, you're racist, you're a boy. You can't be respected by a guy like me because we know the game. You're dirty macking. You want the biracial women, and you think you're going to come up here and slander me and try to throw dirt on me to gain favor with biracial women. But most of my supporters are biracial women because I use my entire platform to validate biracial women. Biracial women are the most beautiful women. Biracial women are the best. I use all my social media to promote biracial women. Their experiences, this whole entire stream was promoting a biracial woman and her experiences. So I use my platform to promote biracial women. That's why it's just like it's funny when you see these black men who come up in here think they're gonna slander me to gain favor with biracial women. Yeah, you might that might work with some of the baby mamas who aren't even a part of the kind of mulatto collective. That's fine. You can go over there with them. But over here, you're gonna get clowned and mocked. That's it. I've been up here for a minute. I'm gonna sign off. I'm pretty sure I'll be back tomorrow, guys. I got something I want to talk about with you guys. So and I'll be here a little earlier. I know it's late right now. Shout out to all you guys. Appreciate you, Val. Respect to you, and I'll talk to you guys next time. So sayonara.